It's Monday, June 12th. It's the start of a new week, and we are back here with the newspaper review here on Top TV. My name is William Savile, and right here on this program, we are going through headlines of newspapers across Nigeria, and we get to talk about those headlines right here on the program. And of course, with me here to do justice to these headlines this very beautiful Monday is Victor Sioko. You're welcome.
Thank you,
Yes.
and happy Democratic Day.
Yes, happy Democracy Day. It's a big day for us as Nigerians. It's a very special day where we celebrate the birth of democracy, and we've been on this matter for over 20 years now. And we would say that our democracy has matured enough, but then we have seen some significant growth. We're not the way we started before. A lot has changed. Whether you say it's for bad or for good, the significant thing is that there are changes and there's some record of growth. Yes, Victor, I don't know if you have anything to add to this very special day.
Record of growth. Will you say there is really a record of growth? Because when you check from 1993, the Abiola time, he was preaching to fight poverty. Okay, but what has happened from 1993 till now? Even when Sani Abacha took over, it was like grief for the country. But when democracy returned back in 1999, there was a whole lot of hope that poverty will be defeated. But what has happened now, it has gone so bad.
Okay, yes, we're going to come back to matters regarding June 12th, but let's jump into taking the headlines on the newspapers for today, the 12th of June 2023, and we'll begin with this day newspaper. Anyway, before I continue with the headlines, I forgot to ask you about your weekend. How was your weekend, though?
Ooh, well, it was mixed. Yesterday I had so much rest, but yeah, you know, the weekend started with the arrest of Emefiele, and we just had to dive into the net to look for information. And aside that, for the sports side, I was able to watch the Champions League.
Yes, it was quite an interesting.
Actually, I watched the Champions League from 3 different televisions from different locations because I made some move that night.
Yeah.
Then we now had the Djokovic winning the Roland Garros event. That's the clay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that made him. That gave him the 23rd title. And he was just so humble to say that he's not the greatest because he has beaten all the records out there. So he's saying that no, he's not the greatest. That he should not be touted as the greatest. But man, on the record, he's the greatest.
He is the greatest. Every time, every day, he's the greatest for me, though. All right, it was quite an interesting weekend, and then for me, the highlight of the football match was when Burna Boy came out to perform. I really love his performance. His vibe was really real, and he represented Nigeria really well, and I really love that about him. All right, let's leave that and then go back to the newspaper headlines. And like I said earlier, we'll start with this day newspaper, and on this day we have a headline here: ExxonMobil appoints Adesuwa Dozie vice chairman of its Nigerian affiliate. All right, find details of that story on page 5 of this day newspaper. We also see here 10th House G7 crumbles as Betara Gaddi step down for Abbas. The fine story on page 50 of this day newspaper. Also, bandits rampage in Niger communities, kill 38, kidnap scores within 48 hours. Page 51 is where you find details of that story. Also, Sirika accuses Inaji of demanding 5% shares in Nigeria Air. Says Ethiopia Air paid $250 million equity for 49% ownership of airline. Declares airline was unveiled by shareholders, not federal government. Immediate past House Committee chair denies allegation against him. Describes Sirika as a drowning man. Very interesting. Details is on page 6 of this day newspaper. And the main headline here says Tinubu on Democracy Day, sore losers don't deserve victory in future. Pays tribute to Abiola, other martyrs of June 12. Apologizes for pains associated with recent fuel subsidy removal. Afenifere charges president on actualizing Abiola's dreams. Atiku, it's time to reflect on our democratic journey. Our democracy is deeply troubled, says Obi. Nadeko seeks implementation of El-Rufai's report, but Abiamila asks for prayers for leaders. EU pledges to strengthen nation's democracy. keep faith despite setbacks. Obaseki urges Nigerians. All right, that's all the headline we'll be taking on this day newspaper. Obviously, these days it's also big on June 12 marches. Also, we also saw the president making a speech as regards the Democracy Day, and he highlighted a few remarkable things. And he paying tribute to Abdullah is one of the things that is very much associated with this very date, because he's one of those people that are really sacrificed for our democracy from history. All right, what's your take generally regarding Democracy Day?
Okay, yeah, big congratulations to Nigerians out there. It's a good thing that we are still a democratic nation, in as much as, yes, we are not practicing it the way it should go, okay? But yeah, we still give thanks to God that we are still pushing and hoping that one day many of these issues that we are having will be treated in a positive way. Now, kudos, I need to start with this. Kudos to the past president, that is Muhammadu Buhari, for remembering Abiola, Chief MKO Abiola, for giving us June the 12th as a remembrance day for him, knowing that June the 12th, 1993 was a total change for Nigeria. It brought about that, will I say, heavy push for a better Nigeria and for elections to be free and fair.
Yeah.
Remember, the Abiola was his reign, okay, or post reign, was cut short by the then military. Reasons, I mean the deep reasons, I cannot even explain to you today, because I can also tell you that the former, or the General Babangida did not really explain all those matters very well, and I also think that Nigeria took a very deep nosedive after June 12, 1993. Okay, you notice that since then, from that June 1993, when power was not given to MKO Abiola, who technically won the election, not only technically, even from the results that trickled in, he won the election, and he even won it by a wide margin. Not today that we have 36 states and the three major parties or the three major candidates shared it evenly, 12, 12, 12, 12. Okay, back then we had 30 states and Abiola won 19 out of the 30 states. In fact, from the numbers then, he was scoring about 4.3 million against Tofa, who was around 2.1. So you find out that he doubled his numbers. It was just so clear. Not the one that you are going to court to go and impose, claim your mandate and all that. It was just so glaring. But yeah, the devil came in, okay, and the military came in and decided not to give him his rights. People voted for him.
They forcibly take over.
Yeah, and what then happened? If you check from that 1993 till the will I say, I will use it, the miraculous death that happened to Abacha. Yeah, we know there are some people out there that are still celebrating him, but it's unfortunate. I don't know what is wrong with him. Well, it is unfortunate that even to call him a thief is even hard for people to call. Somebody that stole, and we are still benefiting from the monies that he stole, just so glaring that he stole, we are still worshiping him, and you just ask, oh God, but let's keep that aside, my brother. But if you check, from 1993 to 1999, or to 1998, you find out that Nigeria, we were making so much money, mind you. Nigeria was hot when it comes to making money from oil and gas. Okay, but what happened to that money? The money floated. I need to also give credit to the current president, who stood by MKO Abiola. One might say, it is his brother, but mind you, there were still some Yorubas that were against him. But Tinubu stood strong, even in the death of MKO Abiola's wife, Kudirat. Tinubu stood strong with the family. The son came out the other day and was also making praises of Tinubu, how he stood strong for his family. That goes out to Nigerians out there. Some persons out there are now are now following Tinubu just so that they can enrich themselves just for their tummy. How many of you or how many of these politicians can come and say that they are defending the rights and the true democratic values of the country?
Yeah. There are not
In,
many.
in a time like this, we cannot count many politicians. Many of them are out there to enrich themselves. Let me not just be dissecting and dissecting.
Yeah.
Now, down to the June 12th. The president has come out to make his speech, and something notable happened to today's speech than before. This time around, Tinubu called out the name of Chief MKO Abiola. Back then, even yes, President Buhari was the one that masterminded this to declare June 12th a Democracy Day. That was in 2018. But he was also not finding it easy to call in. I think he was not finding it easy giving him his flowers,
credit, yeah.
calling out his name. But today, he was acknowledged, okay? The wife was acknowledged, and other comrades that died because of June 12th. But can we also look at the importance? Somehow, one might not be happy of what happened, but it also brought in that hope that democracy is what we really needed. And it is also nice that people pinpoint on what happened in June 12 with respect to the religious lines. Right now, it's unfortunate that when we are doing an election, we bring in tribalism, we bring in ethnicity, we bring in religious lines into our politics. And back in those days, nobody was looking at Abiola, whether he was Muslim, whether he was Yoruba. They were looking for a competent leader. Unfortunately, things has gone haywire in our country. But we give kudos to Nigeria. It is your democracy day. We need to embrace democracy, not minding that, yes, we have politicians that are out there not representing us. They are out there representing their stomach, out there representing their greed. But we just pray that one day, things will change for the better. And poverty, that same poverty that we've been fighting since 1993, we pray that not long from today, that poverty will be defeated, and Nigeria will be known as a place of richness.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Victor. Congratulations to every Nigerian out there. Yes, it's been a long journey, very many obstacles here and there, but the democracy has continued to survive all these challenges, and that's what we hope for, that it will get better as we carry on with this our baby democracy. I call it baby democracy.
It's really not baby.
Yes,
really not
you will
baby.
say it's not baby, but it has a lot of characteristics of a baby democracy, because we really haven't really matured in it. Like I was earlier saying, like there are things that is expected that we should be, engaging in. I mean, look at the last election, how it turned out. After 20 years, one would think that that kind of election would have some sense of, transparency, but that's something we hardly would find in Nigerian elections since its inception of democracy. So that's another thing we're hoping that will one day be the reality of our democracy, so that Nigerians will actually vote and get what they voted for, not what the politicians think is okay for us. And a few Nigerians will stop being the ones that will select people that come out as leaders. It will be Nigerians as collective people voting to actually, have our leaders. That's one thing we're hoping to get pretty soon. But anyway, happy Democracy Day to everyone out there. Let's go on to our next paper for today, and that will be Nigerian News Direct. And on Nigerian News Direct here, we have as headline, Democracy Day 2023, Sanwo-Olu to attend June 12th anniversary. We also see as headline, NDDC promises speedy intervention on erosion-ravaged road in Rivers. Page 17 is where you get details of that story. We move on to the main headline here. It says, Emefiele's suspension. Fear grips public sector CEOs over possible probe. Arrest as MDAs suspend payment of contractors, third parties. You find story on page 17 of Nigerian News Direct. We also see here Senate presidency, Osita Ezunaso may emerge in big surprise on Tuesday. Otitoju Akinkpolu speaking. And you find that story on page 22 of Nigerian News Direct. We also see as headline here, 14.6 billion naira Nigerian air. Ex-aviation minister accuses lawmaker of 5% equity share bribery. We also see here missing crude, $2.1 billion, 3.1 trillion naira subsidy payments. Syrup sues Tinubu over failure to probe NNPCL, defunct DPR officials. Details is on page 16 of Nigerian News Direct. All right. So over the weekend, we heard about the arrest of this former CBN governor, now suspended CBN governor, that's Emefiele. And a lot of people ran out celebrating, oh yes, finally they caught this criminal. They caught this man that has put up through so much hardship. And here we are, another sector beginning to feel highly uncomfortable about that arrest. And this time is, fear. They are beginning to express so much fear as public sector CEOs over possible probe and arrest. What could have gone down to, warrant this fear from this sector? What do you think is going on?
It's unfortunate to mention that, yes, we can see some fiscal infrastructure. We can see them that the presidency, that's the past president, Buhari, gave to Nigeria. Let me keep it that way, okay? But the kind of theft that occurred is unprecedented, okay? Where do I even start from? The way that our reserves has depleted, plus the amount of loans that were collected, do they match up with the infrastructure that we see or the investment in code that has been made for Nigerians? The answer is no. For Emefiele, I have my worries. What are my worries? Why would the DSS be the ones capturing him? Why not EFCC? Yes, some are like, yes, the DSS or the SSS took him in with respect to terrorism financing. But you and I know that.
That's not it.
Apule, you know what is happening.
That's not it, yeah.
You know that. Oh God. We know what. Okay. The Naira change was the major thing. And you know that it had its political tonation or tones around it. Okay? But the DSS went after him. My brother, if Emefiele, in fact, for me, I think they are just doing cosmetic. This is more like cosmetics. They are just rubbing powder over. If they want to go down to business, even the president will be indicted.
Yeah.
You ask me why. I say because those ways and means, the ways that they collected these monies, they collected the loans, they printed Naira without going to the National Assembly. In fact, a whole lot of things happened. What about giving monies to BDCs that belongs to the National Assembly members? That over 3 billion naira was shared among those BDCs. Remember, the bank rate, that's the money being given to Nigerians as bank rates, they are targeted for the privileged ones.
Of course.
But the genuine traders, the genuine business people, go to those BDCs to go and buy them, because if you don't do it, your business will end.
Sure.
So what do people do? They just forget them, knowing that you must have connect. You must be connected before you get your BDs, your foreign notes. Now, are you telling me that if they go deeper and deeper, that the former president will not be indicted? So, they are just for me. And you know that we've had cases like this before now. Yes. That they will just do before you know it, to just die.
Well, we've said it time and time again that you hardly see Nigerian political offenders getting arrested or indicted in any way. Forget about now that they've even maybe made a very strange move of arresting Emefiele. But are you going to get something out of it? Hardly will you see any politician go to jail for anything in this country. And I tag Emefiele under the canopy of a politician because, of course, he has also run for a political office while being the CBN governor. He was not asked to resign. But after he, withdrew from the race, he still was retained as the CBN governor till today. So we begin to wonder what kind of position, what kind of powers Emefiele has over the then administration for him to do whatever he likes against the constitution of the country. Yet he still holds his office. For Christ's sake, nothing happens. So yes, I agree with you when you suggest that yes, this might just be some kind of how would I put it, a show for Nigerians to say, oh yes, oh finally they arrested him, but nothing might really come out of this. Nothing might really come out of it. And that's why when you say the DSS, why the DSS, not the EFCC? They really want to really probe this man. Why not the EFCC? Because this has a lot to do with, financial crime, misappropriations everywhere. So why not?
Yeah. And let's not also forget the former accountant general.
That one.
Who accepted stealing 300 billion naira. And he has refunded how much? 120 billion naira. He's not in jail. He's not in jail. So if you will see all those things, okay, even ask me, even the accountant general, does it mean that he did it alone? How can he steal such amount of money alone?
No, he can't do it alone. He can't do it alone. So what's happening to all the other people?
His trails.
So who are those other people?
My brother. Yeah. So the same thing, if they really want to investigate Emefiele,
a lot of heads will
be
indicted. Yeah. So, all right. Let's move away from that story. We're going to take our last paper for the day. And that will be Vanguard newspaper, but that will be right after the short break. Once we come back, let's go to those papers. You stay tuned.
Hey there! Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
All right, welcome back from that short break, and thank you for staying with us here on the Newspaper Review. We're about to take our last paper for the day. If you are just joining us, you've missed a beat, but don't worry. Subscribe to this channel so you get notified when next we come up with a new episode of this program. So click on the subscribe button. Also, your notification key is right there. Turn it on. It notifies you when next we come up with another episode of the Newspaper Review. We do this every other day. So let's take our last paper for the day, and that's Vanguard for today, the 12th of June, 2023. And on Vanguard here, we have as headline, Use June 12 as lesson to drive Nigeria's development. Edwin Clark, IBB, Atiku, Obi, Ghana orders. Tinubu addresses the nation today. Activists protest high cost of living. Meet at Abiola's Ikeja home. Nigeria should be crisis-free. Clark speaking. Democracy in bondage in Nigeria. Incumbents must stop influencing polls. Atiku speaking. Gains of June 12 can deepen our democracy. IBB. Annulment, a tragic mistake. Jerry Garner speaking right there. And details of all of this you will find on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also see here, don't take democracy for granted. Tinubu warns. We'll also take this one. It's a failed transactions. Bank orders trade blames as customers' agony persists. Fuel subsidy. School owners groan. Seek government's intervention. Government assistance. Stories on page 9 of Vanguard newspaper. And lastly, I'll take this one. It says 10th Senate. Plot to stop Yari thickens as more senators back his ambition. Page 10 is where you will get details of that story. All right, so the story of the 10th Assembly, after today, by tomorrow, we will get the results of all this, drama that's been going on within the last few weeks, and we will get to know who becomes the leader or president of the 10th Assembly finally. So, what's your take on Yari's the plot against Yari, according to this report, it says it's getting really, really deep. What's going on?
But it's looking very sure. Looking very sure that Yari might just have it. Yeah. In fact, as it stands now, it's either Yari, okay, or second, it should be Osita Izunaso. Osita Izunaso is a southeastern senator, and he is the longest serving senator. Are you getting it from that extraction? So maybe that was the reason why Ojo Sotalo cried. You saw him crying,
yes,
right?
And he said things like, Nigeria is not fair to some of them. And what does it even mean?
That he raised the PDP and spent every penny.
Well, was he talking as a PDP member?
Okay, I'll come to that now. Okay, coming from the fact, where do I start and end? But now, coming from the fact that before 1999, he raised a party, the PDP.
Yeah.
Okay, then yes, but he got paid.
Yes,
he got paid by getting
for 8 years.
Yes, and he also got paid by bringing an incompetent person to seed him. No, to seed him as the next governor.
Oh, in Abia State.
Yes, and the incompetent person brought another incompetent person. Okay, and now what are you talking about? You've came through politics. You are a serving senator. You were once a governor, two-time governor. What else do you want? You've been given contracts upon contracts. You have a media house. You see here, it's not here, the Sun. What else do you want? Okay, now coming from the politics of the house. Thank God you even brought about the PDP thing. Now, look at the candidates that it is looking that they will not just make it. Their name came up, but their name has gone down. Ojo Sokalo, number one, former PDP. Number two is Akwa Ibom State Governor, Akpabio, who also came from the PDP. So you find out that it could still be like they are seeing them as still PDPs. The APC are still seeing these guys as still PDPs. What about Yari? Yari has been an ANPP politician. From 1999, he was a secretary in his state. Then he rose to the financial secretary nationwide. Then he rose to become a governor in 2011. 2011 to 2015, 2015 to 2019, then became a senator. Can you see the trails? So that shows that he has more credibility, okay, to be an APC member, not somebody coming from the PDP. You've been on PDP, you not just recently, just the 2015. That was when you cross-carpeted. In fact, you even had your own party, the PPA, until you now finally joined the APC. So they are seeing it from that angle that they want somebody that understands them, somebody that has been there, okay, before you now start talking about these PDP guys that cross-carpeted. So it's looking so gloomy, so booming for Yari. But tomorrow is almost here, and we shall know. But it's not just, it's just looking so bad for Ojo Sokalo.
So it doesn't look like it's going to go its way. But that's not really surprising anyway. But then we had hoped that yes, it will come down to the south or southeast. But it does not happening. There's not much we can do. The APC is one of those parties that rode on the back of religious, being a Muslim does not matter, whether Muslim, whatever. We are looking for the man that is most competent to do the job. And now we find out that even now in this, in the politics of the Senate now, we find out that some people are already crying that how can we have Muslim as the president, Muslim as the vice, and then now in the Senate we also want to have a Muslim leader. They should, tilt towards Christian, presidency and all of that. You see, politicians are like chameleon. They will always want to switch colors to the one that is best fit them and not minding the what they are killing or what they are oppressing to get it. And that's one thing that really makes me very wonder about Nigerian politicians. They are nothing about ideology. They are nothing about what they say their parties are. They just come out and do what will be of interest to them every single time we've seen it played out. Even now in that small space called the Senate, see, look at all the drama and all the manipulations that have already gone down. Oji Uzokalu, for Christ's sake, crying to gain compassion from his fellow senators that, oh, the Nigerians, all those words will not count. It will not count at this time. It is who is the man that is most competent. And again, we might just end up having, like you said, Gary has the most advantage, and we might just end up having him as the next Senate president. Yes, he's a Muslim, but that is not going to ever work against him.
But my problem now is even the Yari, how competent is he?
We don't know that.
I've mentioned his trails. But what is happening in Zamfara State? The 8 years that he was governor there, what did he do?
No, Zamfara is not. Zamfara is one of the most poverty-stricken states in the country. But yet, one thing I've noticed is how politicians don't mind about the antecedents of the people that they are chasing, as far as the person represents the interest of whatever they are chasing. And that's what is going on already. I mean, we saw that in the presidential election, that, okay, in fact, let's not go back to the presidential election, but we've seen these things play out time in, time out. And that's how Nigerian politics have been. These are some of the things we're hoping that years to come, we must have grown over sentiment and face matters as they are. Anyway, thank you so much, Victor.
Thank you, sir.
All right, to our viewers, I want to thank you for staying with us up to this time here on the Newspaper Review. You all are the best. Thank you for watching. Until next time, we'll come your way again. My name is William Sabule, and this has been the review on TAF TV.